live. Do you know what I was doing there? I was looking at up in my top left corner. I've got a thing that says live and it tells me how long I've been going live for. And I'm sitting watching that, being like 20 seconds left, and it's like 3, 2, 1, go.
I know. I was just looking at my phone. I was thinking, we've got a couple of minutes. And then I just saw your face go, we're live. I was like,
so hey everybody. We'll do a quick register, a quick roll call, shall we? And then we can kick off. I suppose I should really say hi to you first, Ben, shouldn't I? How rude of me. Hi Ben, how are you?
Hey Chris. Well, it's finally nice to meet you because this is the first time I've actually spoke to you.
I know that we've spoken face to face. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you too.
Oh yeah.
So in the chat, first time we've got our lovely Gov. Hi Gov, how are you?
Hi Govinda.
We've got Jamie from Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. Hi Jamie.
Oh, hi Jamie.
Chris and Ben in the hot seat. We've got our lovely Nancy. We've got Deanne. Hi Deanne. Deanne always messages me on a Thursday and says, Happy Christy. Deanne's the sweetest. We've got Leander from Liminal Lark. Hi Leander, how are you? Let's see, we've got Laurie's here. Hi Laurie.
Oh, hi Laurie.
Debbie from Aquarius Owl. We've got some lad called Taro Stash. No. Hey Gerald, how are you doing?
Hey Gerald.
He's listening whilst he's working, so he can't even stick up for himself. We've got Robin. What's he say?
Hey Robin.
Beneficial and Christomancy. Yeah, that's not something I want to stick. Christomancy. We've got Justin Michael. Justin, I was just telling Ben that you'd messaged me across about 2 or 3 different chats, different group chats saying, send Ben the link. I was like, what's he talking about? Justin's talking shite again, and then it turns out, no, that's me. Who else have we got? I said hi to Debbie, didn't I? Got Justin. See, this is where they all start doubling up. Oh, Danielle from Tarot Trainee. Hi, Danielle.
Oh, hi, Danielle.
And we've got the lovely Simon from the Hermit's Cave.
Simon.
Hey, Simon. And the chat jumped. But it's okay. See, the good thing about using StreamYard is like I can easily find where it jumped from when I've got a comment up in the screen like that. Right, come on, Chris. Speed round, let's go. Let's do this. Sandra from the Whispering Well. Hi, Sandra.
Oh, hi, Sandra.
And we've got our lovely Jackie Jacaranda.
Jackie.
Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly.
And lovely Neem.
Oh,
hey, Neem, how you doing?
Everybody loves Neem, don't they?
I know. And we've got the handsomer Christopher. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, Chris.
Says, hi, boys. I don't know Ben yet. I might be jealous that he's with my handsome Chris. No, by the end of this, you'll be jealous of me because I get to spend the evening with Ben. Trust me, Chris. Elizabeth, hi there. And how are we doing? We must be getting to the bottom now. Oh, he says, I'll stop working to defend myself. I'm looking forward to this, so I'm not getting away with that then, Gerald, no. Mark, hi Mark, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Hey Mark. Nice crowding tonight.
I know, it is, isn't it? See, Ben, you bring in the crowd.
I know.
I think that's actually us at the bottom now. So if I've missed anyone, then apologies, obviously. A massive welcome to everyone that's here. So we all know why we're here. We're here because we get to set our cards loose on Ben's private business and find out all his dirty little secrets. So I'm sure that we're all really excited for that. So the way that we normally do this is I'll get yourself, Ben, to chat to everyone. Let us know what your question is.
Yeah.
Then we pull a soul card and we talk about that and what it might mean in the in context of your question. And then we look at some we do a tarot spread. And Ben has given me his question in advance, so I've got a spread in mind that I think would be good to use for tonight. Before we do any of that though, Ben, do you want to just tell us a wee bit about yourself? You've not been on my channel before, so I just want you to introduce yourself to all of my lovely guests. And by the way, guys, I never gave Ben the heads up that I was going to do that, so I've just flung him completely on the spot. So, by the way, Ben.
Well, thanks everybody. So I've only been on YouTube, I think it's been about a month now. Yeah, I think it's been about a month. So I've been a lurker. Oh, thanks, Chris. You've given me the floor, haven't you? I've been a bit of a lurker on YouTube prior to that from last year. But I've always had an interest in tarot since I was about 13. But it's been on and off throughout my life. But this year, I thought, you know what, I kind of want to do a channel. I want to connect with people into tarot, like all you lovely guys. So funnily enough, the first live I ever went on was Chris's. And it was actually Chris that did a reading for me and convinced me to do my own channel. So it's kind of come full circle now. So it's great to be on his channel and talk about my question and that. But yeah, so like I said, I've been into tarot for quite a while now, and it's just something that I've always felt kind of connected to. I had a friend years ago that was into it as well, and we kind of found each other and we're kind of really into it, and it's just been kind of like something in my life for a lot of years now. But it's really stuck last year because I kind of went through a bit of a down point in my career because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I managed to get a job, which I've got now. Which is a great job. But my question, am I all right to tell my question, Chris?
Yep, you absolutely are. On you go.
So last year I kind of was between jobs, and then I was out of work for about a few months, and I kind of hit a low point. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my career, but I got a job, and it's a really good job, and I love my job, and it's going really well. But I'm really comfortable in it, and my managers are trying to convince me to progress and go further, but I'm just kind of so comfortable. And because I had that period of not having a job, it was kind of, I think I'm kind of blocked and I don't feel like I'm good enough to go up to the next stage. So I kind of want to explore that with Chris today and find out what's blocking me. Why don't I want to kind of move upwards? It's almost like I'm too frightened to move upwards in case I go into a job again that I don't like, because the last job I had, I really didn't like, and I was in that for a year, and I don't want to go back to that place. So it's kind of blocking me from moving forward. So it's kind of exploring those options really, and seeing where I can go with that, and seeing if I'm on the right path, really.
Cool. So, yeah. Well, thanks very much for that. So I've done a wee banner, guys, but it's not as in-depth as what Ben's just said. I've just said guidance on career progression. But it just means that anyone who's coming into the chat, further down the line, knows what it is that we're doing the spread for. They know what we're talking about. And as I was saying to Ben, it means we don't constantly have people saying, what's the question? What are we need? It just means it's all there. It's clear.
So, I'm sorry, it's such a boring question, Chris.
No, I don't think it's a boring question at all. I think it's actually, it's really nice to read for something that we can all relate to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because this is something that, even if it's not career, we've all got that kind of a fire element thing. We've all got that passion. We've all got that thing that drives us every day, that gets us up out of bed in the morning and makes us go to bed at a decent hour at night. So it's something that I think everyone can probably relate to in some way. So obviously this reading is for you, but I mean there's probably some advice in this that everyone could could take from.
Yeah.
So I was going to say something else. It's gone completely out of my head. That's what it was. So just for everyone in the chat, if you so this is called roundtable readings because we are all the readers of the round table, we're all of equal standing. There's no one person who's an expert. It's not like that. We're all doing this reading for Ben, and Ben's obviously kind of involved as well because it's a conversation. So I want to hear what you guys think about, the cards that are being pulled. I want you guys to be reading for Ben just as much as I am. So in the comments, if you can stick down what you're thinking, card by card, what I'll do is I'll highlight and we'll talk through what, I'll highlight each person's comments as they come up.
Yeah.
But if you could do me a favour and make sure that you put anything for my attention in capital letters or tag me at Elemental Cartomancy. Capitals is probably better because it's easier for me to just work from StreamYard, and I don't see the orange on StreamYard. It's just capitals that kind of highlights to me. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. So let's get started then. Let's pull a wee soul card. So we're looking at your career progression and we want to pull a soul card. And I mean, I want us to send Ben off with a good, some encouragement and a good kick up the arse to tell him that, the fact that he's questioning himself, he is good enough and he can do whatever he wants to do, whether that be kind of a stay comfortable in where he is and, secure, or whether that's, take some risks and push yourself on. The point is we want to empower you. I've
come to the right place.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put myself in the spotlight. But the reason for that is because I want us to be looking at the table, at the cards. So, starting off with the soul card then. So let's pull a soul card for Ben's career progression.
What decks is she using, Chris?
So this is soul cards 1 and 2. Okay. So each soul cards 1 and soul cards 2 are both 60 card decks individually, but I put them all together.
Yeah.
And I use them as one big deck. So these are Deprakov Chafin decks. I don't know if I'll be able to put my hands on the box quickly, but definitely look them up. They're pretty cool. So this is a soul card that we're pulling for you, Ben. Okay. So there's quite a lot happening here. We're immediately drawn to the big egg. Well, I'm immediately drawn to the big egg that's in the person's hands. And that just makes me think of all the potential. Do you know what I mean? Look at the almost monotone colouring in this card. And I think, when that person bursts that egg open, when they kind of explore their actual potential, that card is just going to fill with all these colours,
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I mean, this isn't someone who's like kind of not successful. I mean, we can see that they're, I'm going to say that's their crown chakra, but it's quite difficult to see whether it's the crown or the third eye. Their crown chakra is energized, it's open, we can see all this energy happening up here. They're open to the world, but there's a lot that hasn't quite been achieved yet. And I suppose that's our job here today, is to kind of just give you the confidence to crack open that egg and power on and see what lies in store for you, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think about the card, Ben?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and I feel like the hands are protecting the body, the physical self, but the mind is saying that you can do this, and that's like the inner mind saying you can do it. But then when you process those first thoughts, it then goes into like, oh, but can I do it? And you question yourself, and that's you trying to protect yourself. So yeah, it's interesting the way you've got the physical kind of holding itself, and then like the mind's open now to say that go for it, which makes perfect sense, because I tend to find that I think my initial thoughts like go for it, and then once I've thought about it too much, it's like, oh no, I'm okay, I'm settled, I don't want to cause myself any more stress, or so it's interesting what you've said there.
Yeah, I'm just laughing here because I had left Mark's comment on the screen and Jackie's very kindly given me my wee reminder to get the comment off the screen. And then name's like, oh, Jackie, you know what he's like. He pays no attention until he finishes skilling us.
Oh,
Right, let me see what you guys have got to say then about this soul card. So, well, first of all, yay, Chris, and welcome to the community, Ben. You need a nickname, Sexy Ben with a seductive accent. So Ben's already got a nickname. Ben's nickname is, so we've all got alliterative names. Ben's is Beautiful Ben. So you may call him Beautiful Ben.
You're cute, Chris, aren't you?
Yeah, apparently so. Justin likes your question.
Oh,
Simon can relate to the question. Felt like that in his last job.
Interestingly, Simon had a similar job to me, so that's interesting.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is something separate. So Robin says mind energy eddying. I don't think he means eddying, does he?
Edging, is it? Edging outward?
Maybe. Edging outwards, maybe, yeah. Let's see. Chris says egg cracking. So don't be scared to crack some eggs. Deanne says, my first thought about the card is protecting what you have now.
Yeah, that's
let the
so
egg
true.
crack open when it's ready to do so. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Crack the egg and see what's in it. Wait for it to hatch. That's a good point.
You see, because at the moment I do like my job, but it's like I'm too scared to let it go because I don't want to go to something that I don't like.
Right,
or
okay.
that I'm not liking. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Neem, as a mother, sees this card as fear and worries about giving birth. You can't stop the process. Go with it. There's going to be ups and downs, but overall, it's so worth it.
That's what people say to me, actually. So that's true as well.
Yeah. It doesn't actually have to be the birth of the baby of a baby.
I hope not. I think I'd struggle with that name. Although I have dreamt I was pregnant once, which was a bit worrying. So I don't know what that was about.
So, blushing Ben says Chris. An incubation period, says Chris. Oops. Deanne says this soul card is a reflection of what Ben feels now. We need the tarot to show the steps. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's so true.
We've got Conrad Stein here. Hi, Conrad. It's really nice to see you here. When I think of an egg, I think of the nest, almost like you are cradled and protected. Whatever you choose, you will be protected.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's really nice.
Cool. Right, will we press on with the good old tarot spread? You don't know what deck I've picked for you, Ben, do you?
Oh no, I'm interested.
So I'm pretty sure you've said that this is one of your favourites.
Oh, it is. I love it. It is my favourite. I absolutely love it. It's 70s. Where's the 70s music, Chris?
I'm not as good with that stuff as you are, and I'm certainly not as good a dancer as you are, so let's just not go there.
I do
dance. Do you know that this is commonly referred to as the porn stash deck?
No, is it really?
Yeah.
My favourite.
Yeah, because of all the porn tashes in it.
God.
Well, I mean, we're going to be pulling like 10 cards from it, so no doubt there's going to be a porn tash or two that's going to pop up. So let's see. We're thinking about Ben's career progression. There's some options that are opening up, and we want to give Ben some guidance or some food for thought on what steps to take next. Right, okay. I think that's us. So the spread that I'm going to use, Ben, is... can I put my hands on it? Is it me or... No, it's not. So it's from the for anyone that knows the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. It's a tarot deck by a lady called Maggie Stivator, and it has a really cool 10-card spread in it. It's different from the Celtic Cross, and it's just, I find that it's better for like kind of a targeting, see, like kind of giving you advice on what to do and what not to do in a given situation. This
Yeah.
is absolutely the spread for that. I've used it on these roundtable readings before, and I've also got a video on it in my spreads mini playlist thing. So yeah, that's the one that we're going to use today. Let me just catch any more comments we've got. All right, maybe Ben is the egg, says Deanne. Danielle says, I wonder if you find yourself curious about what's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris says, Conrad, I have one of your RWS decks in the Arno, which I love. Yeah, so Conrad's a creator. Conrad's got a lot of decks on Make Playing cards. In fact, if any of the mods want to stick a wee link in just while Conrad's here, some really kind of amazing versions of the Smith Waite, and the Arno, I think, is a Marseille.
I've heard of Conrad. I think I've seen Simon do some.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
the CS Tarot.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What's this? The Porn Stacy deck? I never knew it was referred to as that. Porn Stash deck. Porn Stash. If I just Porn Stash. Morgan Greer is my favourite RWS too. Great choice.
Great taste, Mark.
See, yeah, Stash, not Stacey. It is because of the moustaches. Stashes for the win, says Gerald. Don't worry, Gerald. No one beats your porn stash. Let's see. Grab a comfy seat cushion, Ben. It's a 10-card spread plus the soul cards. Yep, absolutely it is. Or she says Raven's Prophecy sneaking in. Kimberly, once you're outside of that egg, there's no stopping your growth. You just have to push through the crispy shell. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Deanne. Deanne's put a link in. Deanne's put a link in for me. Okay, so the first card is basically telling us about, what's happening just now. What is the present position? What are we basically? Why are we coming to the cards? It's a card that tells us about the question. That's interesting. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles coming up.
Okay.
The Queen of Pentacles for me is about creating that safe space.
Yeah.
The Pentacles, the Earth suit, it's all about that. We think things like money, we think, material goods, we think of our house, all of that kind of stuff. But see, when you kind of break it all down, what the Pentacles is about, it's about security, it's about safety, it's about all the things that make us feel safe, secure, healthy. Do you know what I mean? So we look at things like health, we look at food, we look at water, we do look at money because it's the way the world turns, we need money to keep us going.
Yeah.
But at its core, the Queen, when we're looking at queens, they're kind of creating that environment and they're inspiring us. Do you know what I mean? The queens are inspirational. So it's all about creating that safe space in order to feel that security. And if when we're listening to Ben and the way that he kind of talks about his question, it's a bit of a fear of putting yourself out there. Do you know what I mean? Because you're saying, I feel as though I'm good at my job right now, and I'm kind of scared to fuck with that because I don't want to, go for something and then I end up not happy, or I can't do the job. So I think that it is quite a good card to kick off with. What do you think about the Queen of Pentacles, Ben?
Yeah, it's so true. Like, it is about being secure and happy in what you're doing. And I've found in the past that it's funny you mentioned about food, because if I'm stressed, then I just eat. And I mean, like a couple of years ago, I was really heavy and I put a lot of weight on, and because I just wasn't in a good place in the job that I was in at the time. And when things like that happen, I just go home, eat loads of rubbish. I was watching films all the time, and I wasn't really living my life for me. So now that I've got the job that I love, I'm almost too scared to kind of move beyond it, um, because I'm in a secure place in myself at the moment. But I feel like I need to, because like the security thing, because I'm getting older and I want to get me in place and that, and we'd have the way it is in the UK with house prices rising and that, I feel like I need to push myself. And being single as well, when you're on your own, it's harder, isn't it? So you haven't got the two incomes, you've only got the one. So it's just pushing myself to be able to earn that bit more money so that I can have my own independence, I suppose. So yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. And how are you about kind of a nurturing and protecting that coin? Like when it comes to your finances, are you like, you don't have to go into too much detail, but
No,
I'm just curious, like, are you a saver or?
no,
No.
no, I do save. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit of a spendthrift as well. So I can be. I'm Gemini, which is always a bad thing because one minute I'm like, yep, I'm saving this month, it's going to be fine, and I'll save some money, and then the next minute I'll be like, oh, I feel like a bit of a splurge, so I'll have a splurge, and then I'm kind of right back to where I
Yeah.
started. But yeah, I am. As I'm getting older, I'm getting more protective of that and thinking, you need to think of the future and stuff. And been thinking more about pensions and things like that. So yeah, there's that more emphasis on that security and wanting to make sure that I've got something for later in life.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And the Queen as well has been about, being inspiring and stuff like that. She's a mature individual, she's got a certain mastery over her domain, over the suit, and of course, in this case, we're looking at your
Yeah.
kind of your down to earth stuff, your material stuff. So it does like kind of show this kind of just this aim to have to gain this maturity and just being able
Yes.
to wield
Yeah.
that element of earth.
Yeah.
Um, So just to highlight some of the comments and what some people are seeing in the Queen of Pentacles. So Robin says comfortable with the coin that she's got. She's happy in her place.
Mm.
Deanne, a good omen perhaps. My husband got an amazing job offer just a few moments ago.
Wow.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
Great,
I've
Deanna.
been keeping myself updated on the job situation, so I can't get too excited about it now because I need to conduct myself with some decorum because we are doing this. But that's amazing news, Deanne. Tell
Oh, that's,
Ryan I'm over the moon for him.
oh,
Um, Ben is one queen who is happy with his lot, says
true.
Robin.
Thanks, Rob.
Chris says no risk, no reward.
Yeah.
Mark, Queen of Pentacles, you want a job that keeps you in a nice lifestyle,
Mm.
but also the Queen's nurture. So there might be a need to nurture or feel nurtured in your job, which relates to nesting that egg too.
Mm.
Referring
Mm.
back to the
Yeah,
soul
that's
card here.
true. Connects itself, doesn't it, to that card, really?
Yeah. Let's see, we've got Debbie says my son just gave his notice at a job that he's had for 10 years. Wow, that's some step to take, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, it's a big decision, that.
Govinda says be supportive towards yourself and nourish your needs.
Oh, yeah. Bless him.
Nurturing your future self, says Kimberly.
Yeah.
Chris says, oh Ben, life is a constant battle between two extremes for us Geminis.
Is
Of two minds about everything.
yeah.
One of my twins is a Vulcan, the other is a Klingon.
That's a Star Trek reference, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I know how he feels there. That's so right, Chris, because you do feel like that. You feel like you're two people sometimes, it's very strange. But
yeah.
yeah, it's hard. You're in like two minds being a Gemini. You can wake up one day and think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And the next day you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be bothered. It's hard.
Right, okay. The next card that we come on to is basically what you've got going on. It's your nemesis. It's the thing that you're battling with at the moment.
Okay.
It's You know, we think about it as like maybe obstacles, or it doesn't always need to be something that's stopping you. It can be something that basically something that you're interacting with. It can be helping or hindering, but we're going to have a look and see what it is. Oh, we've got the Knight of Swords.
Oh,
It's funny because you're talking about being Geminis.
yeah.
And I mean, we've got an air court coming up there. I hope this isn't going to be a spread full of courts, by the way. Ben, if you're cursing me here to pull courts left, right, and centre, then I won't thank you for
They're the worst,
it.
aren't they? Oh, God.
So
Takes me.
it's interesting, right? Because the Knight of
Mm.
Swords makes me think, how are we expressing ourselves? Um, to me, the Knight of Swords, I always think of it most first and foremost. I think keyboard warrior. That's what I think when I see the Knight of Swords. I see them being the kind of they write a smashing complaint letter. See your Karens of the world. They're Knight of Swordses. So they
Yeah,
are. Um, yeah, but their tool is their intellect, and they know how
yeah,
to use it.
yeah.
It it's interesting because I'm not really 100% sure on why it's coming up in this reading in that position. You
Mm.
know, um, is it maybe saying, right, well, you know what you want to do. You know,
Yeah,
she's got her hand on this pentacle. She knows that she
yeah,
needs to kind of nourish herself some coin.
yeah,
You know that you've got your kind of your job situation to think about, and actually think about what you want to do.
yeah,
The Knight of Swords is maybe saying, right, well, we need to kind of plan it out.
yeah,
It's about using your intellect and using your foresight to actually plan what's going
yeah,
to happen, and rather than just kind of a rolling with the punches and saying, "Oh well, I'll just see what happens." To me,
yeah,
this is saying your challenge is, it's not the going with the flow part. It's actually planning stuff out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what do you think? Do you see anything different?
You see, because Gemini, the element is air, which is really
Hmm.
interesting because I find that I think too much sometimes, and I think the swords are all about thoughts, aren't they? So I feel that sometimes I can overthink it, and like my intuition will tell me what to do, but then I process it in my head and think all these different things, and then it kind of stops me sometimes. But one of the things with the swords, which I find interesting, what you've said, is that um, I knew this other job was coming up at one point, and I was like, at first, it was like, yeah, go for it, jump straight in, go for it. But then I took a step back and thought, oh well, no, actually, I'm happy I'm happy doing the job I'm doing. I'm comfortable. I'd only been in the job about 6 months, and I thought, oh, just take it slow. Whereas sometimes I feel like my intuition's like, yeah, come on, go straight in there, get it done. And I think that's where the energy of the Knight of Swords comes
Yeah,
from, because it's like coming straight down, isn't it? That particular, it's like fast, isn't it? Um, yeah. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
okay,
What
it's
you've said, mate,
interesting
Chris, definitely.
because you're absolutely right. We're going from that kind of the very passive energy of the
Yeah,
Queen and the passive energy that we get from the element of air to a
yeah,
very active, almost aggressive
yeah.
energy from the Knight of Swords. Um,
And I think it's
so
like you said about that Gemini thing. 1 minute you can just be quite passive, and then the next minute it's all action, and it's all you know. So that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, I suppose. And they're both facing the same way. They are both
Yeah,
aligned, but
yeah,
it seems to be that it's the changing, from your pretty dress, from your
yeah,
sexy ass dress into your armor and getting your sword out and being ready to wield it,
yeah.
as it very much were. Um, so yeah, let's see what the people in the chat think. Um, let's see. Right, okay, so we were at there. Dean said that. Orshi's popped in. Hi, Orshi, how you doing?
Hi, O'Shea.
Hmm, Curious if the queen will be tempted to move into the king position, says Robin. Knight movement with information collected. Kimberly says hesitation around being assertive to get what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Your challenge might be your fear of making a rash decision.
Yeah, because I think something came up not so long ago and I needed to make a quick decision and I couldn't. I was kind of blocked.
Right, okay. Okay, you're needing to use those muscles again. Those kind of decisive muscles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking about what Ben said earlier when he said he thinks too long about something. The knight would be quicker thinking usually, but if it's the challenge, then maybe it's related.
It's true because I'm very much a person that like thinks. I like something to be planned. I need time to think about it before I make a decision on it. But if something's rushed, it stresses me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get that. Chris, keeping yourself secure and comfortable whilst also being able to seek out new opportunities. A perfect Gemini trick.
I like it, Chris.
Gov says, is your mind free enough to explore new areas to work in that can still support your needs?
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis, says Jackie.
By analysis, yeah, that's true.
Use the anchoring of the Queen of Pentacles, your embodied intuition, while letting your airy Gemini communication and networking to seek out new opportunities in the hands where and how you are comfortable. I like it. Very nicely put, Mr. Chris.
That's interesting.
Nurture your porn stash before the next step.
I'll do my best.
I think the egg represents the calm inner truth, maybe, of Ben. Following his bliss, the Queen of Pentacles I see as an indication of coming to the situation with maturity and compassion. I think the Knight of Swords represents frustration and the obstacles ahead.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Or she sees overprotection by the Knight, especially since he's on top of the Queen, blocking her from seeing clearly.
That's an interesting
point.
Yeah, that's clever. Wow.
Right. I want to check something. I really do want to find that damn tarot deck. Where is it? There's the little bugger. I need to not stand up too high, otherwise I'll end up pulling the microphone out and everything. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, this is the spread that I'm talking about here, the 10 card reading. Yeah, okay. So the next two cards, they're going to go up here, and we're going to be looking at, you know, your current kind of a state of mind, and we'll look at the conscious and the unconscious. First card, I always take to be the conscious. You know, what's kind of what's on your mind right now. You know, where's your head at, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We've got the Emperor. So it's like, you know, he does tie in quite nicely with this Queen, but brings in that kind of a very active energy of the Knight of Swords. It's about trying to maintain that control. It's about you know, I was going to say the illusion of control there, but that's not what I mean. But it's just trying to kind of maintain that stability and that security, and kind of you know, toiling with that side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see anything else?
No, that's exactly how I do feel. It is about having that stability, which is what the Emperor's about, and being in control. And I feel like I'm in control being in this job. You know, I know my job. I enjoy it. So I do feel in control. And I think it's losing that control that I don't want to do. And I feel like if I did change and get another job or whatever, you know, go up or whatever, I don't want to lose that control where I feel good at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Do you
that
see how like you're kind of your starter for 10 and also your conscious mind are both quite comfortable being in these thrown seated positions, and
Yeah.
your nemesis, your challenge for the
Yeah.
day is it's this night energy, it's this very active kind of a getting up and going, and
Yeah.
so we're kind of starting to see a theme here. I'm really interested in what's going to be in the unconscious. What's kind of a behind everything? Is there anything that's can we go a wee bit deeper? But let's
Yeah.
see what everyone in the chat has to say about our Mr. Emperor first. Chris says, "Yep, porn stash. That's the answer. Blushing Ben is destined to be an international porn star."
Oh, I like you, Chris.
Robin says the Emperor is sitting pretty.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you might need 2 cards for the mind with the Gemini. Don't worry, Chris. We're going to look at the unconscious as well as the conscious. So we do have 2 cards. But the Emperor is looking to his left, to the past, says Osha.
Yeah, that's true, because I do look to the past a lot and think, oh, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm in an uncomfortable job again. So if I'm happy, am I better staying off where I am? So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think we always talk about like kind of how owls represent wisdom. And one of there's many reasons for that. If Justin's still here, he could tell us all about it because he was he was inspiring me to think about this recently. Things like seeing in the dark, so being able to see the unseeable, that's all there. But another thing is an owl can turn its head 180 degrees. An owl can look into the past and into the future. And that's one of the reasons why they're so wise, or why they're such a great symbol for wisdom. We see them in the Brady Tarot, which is an all animal deck. We see them representing both the High Priestess and the Hermit. Two of the wisest cards in the deck. And the point that I'm making here is it's not just about looking to the past and basing things on the scientific, like this is what's happened before, this is the algorithm, this is the formula, and this is what I'm going to follow. We kind of need to have our eye on the past and the future and the present. Do you know what I mean? We need to try and see all sides of it. So maybe by the end of this reading, we can inspire you to kind of turn your head a wee bit from the past and maybe look to the future. Maybe trust your instincts a wee bit.
Yeah. It's true.
Let's see. Control. Yes, sometimes the Queen has more control than the King. Be careful what you wish for. That's a really good point. See, if you think about chess, right? The Queen can actually, she's a lot more powerful than the King. And that actually does reflect in the queens and kings in the tarot, because you think about it, like the king is like the rule, like he'll tell you what the rules are. Kind of just like he's very much a kind of a dictator type energy. Whereas the queen, like I'd said earlier, she nurtures, she inspires. So she's not just telling you, Ben, this is what you must do. Tomorrow when you go into work, I want us to have a water cooler chat at 9 and blah, 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 blah. No. The Queen is inspiring you to do these things for yourself. She's inspiring you to be the best person that you are. So because she does that, the Queen is essentially creating a leader, So her reach is a lot further than the King. And we see that reflected in chess. So we do.
It's almost like the Queen's kind of my inner voice, and then the Emperor's the one that's kind of trying to block it and control.
Well, we're going to find out about your inner voice in the next card, so it'll be interesting to see what comes up. Let's see. So we've got Chris says the Queen with her seeking knight are both looking towards the future. That's a good point. I enjoy directionality in cards, says Osha. Conscious and unconscious. You need 4 cards for a Gemini. Then y'all don't know the struggle. Listen, I do know the struggle. I'm engaged to a Gemini. I know the struggle perfectly well.
I know. It's not easy, is it?
Conscious, how do you feel about being the boss or about your current boss?
I love my current boss. She's great, and they're actually everyone's so supportive. So it is like it's me that's blocking it. I'm in a very good work environment at the moment where they're very supportive, but I think it's me that's blocking it. It's not the people around me. They're very, supportive.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to be in that.
Yeah.
The answer is right. Looking back isn't all bad. Very important to remember where and how we've been, I believe, of
Yeah.
course.
True.
Your Vulcan side, mind, logic, reason, order is the Emperor.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
see who your Klingon, passionate, intellectual side,
We-
instinctive side, is in the unconscious.
Oh, wait for it.
I think it's Nancy at Paperman Tarot. Is that right? Is it Nancy? Or
Oh,
have
hello.
I got it wrong? Queens rule. I think queens run all the social programs and kings run infrastructure programs in a society. I like this Vulcan Klingon analogy,
I
especially
like
because I'm on a Star Trek binge lately, says Archie.
love Star Trek. It's fab.
Poor handsome Chris. The only thing worse than being a Gemini is living with one.
True.
Yeah, I think it is Nancy because people are saying hi to Nancy. Right, okay, let's put everyone out their misery. What is the what's seated in the unconscious part of your mind? So we've got the Five of
God.
Wands,
Yeah, that'll be myself, I think.
right? Is it a fear of competition though? Because because you're sitting at the fore right now. If you think about it, you've created this nice wee stable place for yourself.
Mm,
And sometimes the issue with any four really, but the Four of Wands particularly, is we can get too comfortable.
yeah,
It can become stagnant if we forget that the four is just a four and it's not the end game.
yeah,
It becomes stagnant, and one of the reasons that people do that is because they fear the next step. They
yeah,
fear the conflict, the confrontation, the
yes,
competition.
yeah, yeah,
That bringing other people into the mix does. So you're sitting in this kind of quite cozy position right now.
yeah,
Um, Maybe on some level you're scared of the change, the
yeah,
changing environment. So you're
yes,
feeling as though I'm comfortable where I am right now. Everyone around me is really supportive. If
yeah,
I go to make a move to change, to progress, I'm going to be picking all of that up, dumping that to the side, and
yeah,
bringing a whole new situation around me. And I
yeah,
don't know if that's going to be as safe and secure and nurturing as
yeah,
what I have right now,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's absolute
Um,
nail on the head. That is what it is. I'm battling with that because I don't want to go into a situation where I feel like, where I don't know what I'm doing, and then like, what happens if I'm not as good as the person, or they think, what happens if I'm not as good as they, you know what I mean? What happens if you're not as good as what they think, and then you go through all that, and then it's meeting a whole new team, what I'm getting to know their personalities, and do you work well together? It's all that, up in the air.
well, we are going to go on and get some advice, but just person to person, not as like someone who's pulling tarot cards for you. Like, see if that was the case, if you
Mm,
were, if you were sitting there and you were a bit shit at your job and that kind of a thing,
mm.
you wouldn't be able to say to me, like, my boss or the people around about me are pushing me to move on, you know.
I
The
know,
people
yeah,
around about you wouldn't be pushing you to progress and to move on if
yeah,
you couldn't do it, if they didn't believe in you, you know.
no, you're right.
Um,
You're absolutely right. And sometimes I think I tell myself, oh no, you're not good enough, or, I don't know what it is. I don't. It's weird because people around me are encouraging me to keep. You're doing really well and you're good at what you do. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what it is. It's really weird. I think it is
yeah.
just that fear. But yeah,
So let's see what everyone's saying. Archie says support's good. Oh, is Hen here? Oh, there you are. I didn't see you come in,
Oh,
Hen. Sorry.
hey, hey.
Let's see. Is your current boss about to do some maternity leave? That egg card keeps catching me for some reason.
No, but the boss above her might be going on. Well, I have a feeling that the boss above her may eventually have kids, which will bump everybody up to the next level. Possibly. He's
Chris says,
angry.
"Oh, Klingon is not happy. He's battling to be heard." You're happy where you are because you like your boss, but if you
Yeah.
don't take the promotion, will they give it to somebody else who might change your degree of comfort?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Yeah.
My
Oh,
hubby is a Gemini, but he's the most normal together person I've ever known, so he said.
that's nice.
Klingon wants to shake things up.
They always do, don't
Uh,
they? The Klingons.
I think we should change these positions now in this spread to be Vulcan and Klingon rather than
Yeah.
conscious and unconscious.
We should have a Star Trek spread, Chris.
I know. Right, my Vulcan often has my Klingon by the throat, and Klingons don't appreciate that. When they are both working in sync, it's powerful.
Yeah,
Logic and passion driving the chariot together. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if the
yeah,
chariot will come up tonight.
that'd be interesting.
Um, so my only daughter is a Gemini, and when she wakes up each day, I have to figure out which person she has to start the day.
It's true. It's terrible, aren't they, Geminis?
Starting something new is always tense, but it's always an important way to move forward in your life, says Nancy.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
Chris, in general, give good advice. That comes in handy as a reader. Oh, thanks, Justin. Deanne says you're that good, Ben.
Oh, bless her.
My Vulcan is suppressing my Klingon for sure, says Orshi. My daughter is a Taurus. But it was
It's so
never
interesting, these star signs.
it was never much different in this household. Or she says lack of self-confidence could be an issue, so stepping into an emperor role might do good for you.
Yeah, I think it is lack of self-confidence.
That's sciencey vicious here. Right, okay. Oh, we comment at the bottom here. You don't want to get promoted to a place that isn't the right match for you, just for the sake of
Yeah,
moving forward. Make sure it's what you really want, says Nancy.
yeah, I agree with that, Nancy.
Absolutely. Right, the next two cards are going to. So the next four cards is where the meat of the where the advice of the spread really comes, because the next two are what do you think you should do and what do you think you shouldn't do, and then after that it's what actually should you do and what actually shouldn't you do. So we get to kind of compare what your view on the situation is versus what this is suggesting you should do. And we get to compare this kind of a should and shouldn't as well, which I always think is quite helpful. So with that said, the first card is what do you think you should do? Ace of Pentacles.
Oh God.
So we've got a new start there.
Yeah.
So that suggests to me, on some level, when you kind of I suppose just take the fear out of your mind. Like if you're kind of being as objective as you can, there is some part of yourself that thinks that you should kind of Well, it could be about taking a new start, but at the same time, the Ace of Pentacles could be talking about, um, saving up, and you were talking about like you want to get your own place and all that kind of a
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's the Ace is about starting with that seed and building
yeah,
it up over time with hard
yeah,
work and patience and all that kind of a stuff.
yeah,
So I think that's kind of a where you're sitting.
yeah,
We can't get away for the whole new beginning side of the Ace. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but
I
that's
know.
to me that's what that's saying.
Yeah,
So
that's what.
somewhere you're kind of edging towards like, yeah, maybe I should,
Yeah.
um, but maybe it's just you're kind of afraid of this situation that's
Mm.
pulling you back onto the
It
fence
is.
again.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely that. Because that card is what I think my inner self's telling me to do. That you can do it. You can, don't put doubt in yourself. So yeah, that makes total sense.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Chris says, lean on your Klingon for confidence.
You're right.
Regina's here. Hi, Regina. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Regina.
My Gemini is a trans talk about flip sides. Um, this is a great spread for a wishy-washy Gemini. Chris, will you post it in the den? I sure will.
It's a good spread, Chris.
Yeah, it's one of my favourites. Robin says, investigate the new path.
Yeah,
Um, that's the uh, that's the best Gemini embodiment. Everything is balance.
yeah,
Ace of Pence is about looking at things from a grounded perspective too.
mm,
Absolutely. Plus, it has potential for something long term. Yeah. The totality of earthly energy. Do it at the right time for you, says Justin.
yeah,
Chris is, drawing a comparison between the egg
yeah,
and the Ace of Pentacles, which is pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Thanks, Jen. I didn't say. Oh, sorry. I'm butting in someone's private conversation here. Investigating the new path. I'd want to know what's on the other side of that hedge, says Robin.
That's
Um,
interesting.
had it been the Ace of Wands, I would say go for it, says Justin.
Oh, yeah, I suppose
Yeah,
that's more fiery energy, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, kind of it brings about more,
Mm,
dynamism, more change, more
mm.
shake up of things. Okay, the next card is what you think, what you don't think you should do, or what you think you shouldn't do. Okay, so we've got the Three of Cups coming up.
Oh, okay.
Um, so you know how you're talking about being comfortable in the situation that you're in.
Yeah,
I feel as though like the cards are totally contradicting, like because I mean you at the outset you were saying, I feel as though I know what I'm doing right now. I'm comfortable in the situation that I'm in. I'm surrounded by these people that really kind of support me. And then the cards are like they're like, no, Ben wants to take a new start, and no, Ben like doesn't think that he should kind of keep himself surrounded by this kind of a enjoyable atmosphere. Ben wants to really spark some change. I feel like going, no, that's not what Ben's just said.
it's the Gemini.
Listen to Ben's words. um,
It's interesting though, Chris, because that Three of Cups, I actually work with three women in my office.
okay.
So we all get on really well. So I
Yeah.
don't know whether it's representing like that, saying don't leave them, maybe because you get on really well. There's that unity there, and
Yeah.
that's another thing that I've thought is that I get on really well with my colleagues that I work with, and do I want to lose that by going into another team?
Okay. Do you think on some level, like, could it be about being worried about um, mixing business and pleasure, essentially? Not pleasure, but like
Yeah,
because if we think about this, we're talking about career progression here, right? If
yeah,
we think about this, to me, that's like building up those relationships inside the office. And I'm not saying for a second like that this is saying don't do that. We need to
Yeah.
do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm firmly of the belief that when people go for job interviews, 90% of it is, the person seeing whether they think you're a dick or not, whether they want to work
Yeah.
with you. It's
Yeah.
important that we build up these connections, but what
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't do is let those connections dictate
Yes.
our, how we progress ourselves and how we progress our career,
Yeah,
because we
you're right.
almost do have to kind of treat them as separate. Now,
Yeah.
again, this isn't the position. This isn't saying this is what you've not to do. This is
Yeah.
just kind of letting you explore your thoughts a bit. And is there maybe a bit of a fear about like just being too led by that side of it?
Yeah, that does make sense. It's like don't mix work with pleasure. You go to work, you come home, then you've got your own life, haven't you, kind of thing. Don't mix the two and think that, yeah, I know what you're saying. Because I used to do that, I think, years ago. I used to think like work and, friends, you made friends at work. It was like school, but it's not, it's not good to do that. It's good to have your own life separate from work. So you're right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool. Let's see what everyone else is saying. And just nobody wants to sit still for too long, but can you expand what you're doing in your current job for something new? Ace of Pence, an enjoyable Three of Cups.
Doing in your current job for something new. So I currently work in IT, and I'm currently part of like a business support. So I'm comfortable with that. I love the job, but I'm being pushed to go into projects, which I'm not too familiar with. But I'm told that you've got if you've got the admin skills, that's all about what projects is, organisation, and that. And it's just the fear of going into a job where I think, well, I've never worked in a project job before, so it's like, can I do it? I mean, most people would be like, oh yeah, I know people in the organisation who've just gone up and up the bandings, and they're on band 7 now. But I don't know. I like to be comfortable in a job. I don't like too much stress. Do you know what I mean? I've been in jobs before where it's been
Can see that.
stressful. Yeah. And I don't want the stress. I mean, I've always said it's not about the money for me. I'd rather be happy than stressed, And there's people out there who are fine being stressed because they get the money at the end of it, and that's for them. But it's not for me, because if I'm stressed, I don't care about the money. I'm much more about being happy. But I suppose it's just that security things come into it. Should I be progressing more in my job? Should I really be going for these higher banded jobs? Should I be pushing myself? But then, on the other hand, thinking about it, perhaps I need to curb my spending, and maybe I could stay in a comfortable job, but be more careful with my money, which is also what the Ace of Pentacles might be saying to me. It's like, look after your money, and maybe you could stay in the job. Change your lifestyle maybe slightly.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Sorry, I've gone on a bit there.
No, I love it. This is where the magic happens when I can get you to do the talking.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're nested and comfy, but maybe you can carry your egg with you till it's ready to hatch. Your egg needs a new nest, or it's a poop or get off the pot situation. Mama hen dilemma. I had to read that twice to make sure I was reading it right. Consider also the maiden mother crone aspect of the Three of Cups as an experience and growth, says Robin. Most job advancement depends heavily on networking. The Three of Cups is social, with it having to be formal. Those casual encounters create new possibilities and ideas, says Chris.
Yeah.
So socializing and networking are Gemini superpowers, and Geminis can blend pleasure and business for sure.
Yeah. Stress.
Deanne's agreeing with you. She says if the stress is high, it can impact so many things in
Yeah.
your life. Yeah, I have to agree with that as well. I know that, see, if I'm miserable in work, I'm just miserable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody hears about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same.
Um, the Emperor is turning his back on that stress, says Robin.
Mm.
Doesn't have to be either or. I prefer both and worldview, says Chris. That's a good point, actually.
Mm.
So, like, there's a couple of people now that have suggested, like, is there some, like, outside the box solution to this? Does it necessarily have to be you take one path or another? Or is there like a middle path that you could take where you could maintain some of that stability, some of that security, some of that confidence, but also you're kind of like giving yourself options, you're putting yourself out there?
Well, interestingly, it was talked about secondment, so I could go into that job as a secondment, and then if I didn't like it, I could always go back. But I don't know if that's a common opportunity there, because that was the first time round it came around, and I didn't apply for it in the end. But that was the option, because this other job is actually fixed term, so it would mean that I would go into that job, and then and normally though, when you go into a convent, it carries on. But there was an option to go back, but I still didn't do it. I was, at the time, I just wasn't ready for it. But I feel like the job might be coming back up again. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe the secondment route is the best, because at least then if you didn't like it, you can go back. So
Yeah.
there's that option if it's there again.
Okay. Interesting. Justin says, I think part of being grounded in a situation like this is taking the nerves out of the equation and ask the question, is it a good fit for me?
Yeah. And that's the trouble being a Gemini, because one day it is a good fit for you and the next it's not.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. Whether
Yeah.
if you didn't go with promotion.
Yeah. So she's saying, like, if you were to, come out of this and say, right, you know what, that's me, I'm not going to. Would that kind of scupper your chances for the future, or would there still be opportunities for you in the future? I suppose that would be good to.
There'd still be opportunities in the future.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know then.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the trouble is working in IT. I mean, I'm not a technical person, and a lot of IT work is technical. So there's only certain routes you can go down. I wouldn't be able to jump from that into like a networking system job, because I don't know the technology and that. So I'm limited being because I'm business support. So it's kind of like limited, I suppose. Whereas projects probably would be the next step for me, because it's higher banded, and it's you're still going down the business support route, but you're supporting project managers, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's this Gemini thing, isn't it?
I know that seems to be the recurring theme of the day, doesn't it?
We're doing this with two people.
Kimberly says maybe a project outside work could fulfill your desires and passively generate an income.
Yeah.
Maybe more a solo venture than company led. I think you were talking about something like that. Maybe it was before we came live, actually.
Yeah, I did, and I thought, I mean, you never know, do you, how things could take off, really. I always wanted to do tarot readings, but I don't know. Again, that's something although I've known tarot for so long, I haven't done many readings for people outside my own friends and family, so it's different. I need to practice, but I don't know whether I want to go down that route or not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you don't know until you try.
No, you're right, Chris. That's so true. Hi, Tanji.
Hey, Tanji. Nancy says, don't force yourself to change if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Though changing to the same job in another company could get you more money and let you stay in your comfort zone.
who would be in the same company, and the management are very supportive. But it's knowing the team that I'm going. I don't really know the team I'm going into. That's the only thing. But the high level management are supportive.
Don't tell the universe what it can't do by isolating yourself within your own self-limiting beliefs. Be open to what it can bring you. Let it know what you really want if you aren't limiting yourself.
Mm.
But if you can keep the door open, you don't really lose anything, but you could gain some for sure. This is teaching me never to read for a Gemini.
It's not easy, is it, Chris? I bet you're thinking, what the hell?
No, I'm
Not
actually
really
quite enjoying this. I'm excited to see what the next cards are. So the next two, like I'd said, are what should you do and what shouldn't you do. So what should you do? Magician, another one, another, another new beginning card. The Magician is actually, so when you look at the story of the Fool's journey, the Fool goes out naively with this kind of a satchel over his shoulder.
Mhm.
He probably knows what's in that satchel, but he doesn't really appreciate the power that what they symbolise or the power that's within them. And he comes across this magician chap, and the magician magics the Fool's bag open, and out floats, the wand, the sword, the pentacle, and the cup. And basically, the magician is showing you, this is what you can do. This is what you've got. It's like showing you the potential. It's kind of like how I think about the magician, right? And this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
See, if you buy if you say to yourself, right, I'm going to learn the guitar, and you buy a guitar for the first time, you could maybe strum strum it a wee bit, make some sort of something that resembles a tune, but unless you kind of and it can be quite intimidating to start off with.
Yeah.
You then come up against the magician who takes the guitar out of your hands and plays, some amazing tune, some Spanish classical tune that's really complex, and that inspires you. It shows you what you could, the potential of the tools that you hold in your hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where was I going with that? So this card is what you should do. This is telling you need to realize the potential that you've got. You need to realize the potential of the egg that you're holding in your hands. There's a lot. You've barely even scratched the surface. And regardless of what choice you make right now, at some point you're going to be called on to use those gifts.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd really, and it's funny because we talk about, it's difficult to read for a Gemini, and never read for a Gemini, but I feel as though, like us as readers of the round table, we are quite like kind of a conflicted here. There's some people that are kind of a bit, don't change if you don't want to, and make sure that's what you want. And then there's some of us that are like you've got it, go for it. What are you waiting for? We're quite kind of a conflicted, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That the magician is there to tell you that, regardless of what choice you make, think of it as a game of chess, right?
Yeah.
What we're discussing right now is, which pawn are you moving out first? It's not going to determine the entire game, right? But it's just, this is just one step in the entire game. But the point is, you've got everything there that you need in order to win that game of chess, okay? And the magician is coming out to tell you that. So I suppose what you should do is be aware of your potential.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
Have you got any thoughts about the magician, Ben?
It's what you said, Chris. I feel like I need to believe in myself and know that the potential's there. That if I want to go for it, I could go for it, and I can do it. And I think it's just believing in me, myself, and that's telling me to believe in myself.
Yeah, good.
Definitely.
Change is scary when it's unknown, but the upside of that is the possibilities are wide open, says Nancy.
Yeah, that's true, Nancy.
Chris, he says it's so hard to read for myself. Nancy says, I left a job at a publisher because the promotion meant spending time schmoozing with salespeople and clients, so I left to write books and never looked back.
Wow,
That's pretty cool, Nancy.
that is cool.
It says, yay, magician, connect your Vulcan and Klingon with your deepest desire and tell the universe what that is. That's magic.
Yeah.
Mark says you should follow your skill set.
Yeah, Mark, that's true.
Chris says an intention egg, program it and send it out to hatch into the wide world, magician. The magician has a porn stash. Get on the porn circuit. He really does.
Great. Maybe that's why I like this deck so much.
Our knight's got one as well.
Oh God, they've all got one of them.
Yeah, that's why it's called that.
Yeah, you know. I hope the Queen hasn't got one.
No, she's had it waxed. Right, okay. Next one is what you shouldn't do. Hanged Man.
Oh,
Justin's
God.
going to be raging. Justin loves the Hanged Man. So what could this be talking about then? I feel as though what it's saying is, do you know what? You're on the right track. That, you know, there are some times when the cards want to give us a good kick up the arse and tell us you need to turn your whole world upside down, mate. You know, you need to change, you know, really shake things up and change things about. That's kind of not the message here. You know, it's saying, you know, keep doing what you're doing, keep chipping away, keep plodding on. There is no need for any drastic changes. You don't need to make big sacrifices in order to get what you want. You know, you're on the right track. That's how I would read that card, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think about it?
What position's this? Sorry again, Chris.
This is what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is exactly what you've said. You know, because the Hanged Man's like seeing things from a different perspective, I suppose, as well, isn't it? And I always think of it like, because is it like saying don't move, don't stay in one place for too long? Is that saying what I shouldn't do?
You could look at it that way, yeah. Yeah, like being fixed, being tied up,
don't
in one
stay.
position.
Because I'm just thinking with the magician there as well, saying, you know, you've got the tools, don't stay there and do nothing and just sit there and watch the opportunities pass you by.
Yeah. Do you notice how, so this just further reiterates for me that you're on the right track, because for what you think you should do, we've got a 1, we've got an ace. For what you should actually, for what the cards are telling you should do, we've got a 1. For what you don't think you should do, we've got a 3.
Yeah.
And for what you actually shouldn't do, we've got a 12, which is 1 + 2 is 3. So it's just kind of when you look at it that way, I know that, you know, it needs to be broken down further, and we've obviously done that, but, you know, when you just, sometimes it's good to zoom out and just take a quick glance to see what you're looking at. And to me, that's just saying, you know, he's on he knows what he's doing. You know, this isn't saying like, you know, what can be really difficult is when what you think you should be doing is what you shouldn't be doing. And when you think what you shouldn't be doing is exactly what you need to be doing, you know, that's when that's when you're getting a good kick up the backside. But that's not what we're seeing here, you know.
Yeah. That makes that's so interesting, Chris.
Let's see. So Archie says it shows your future literally. Some queens might have one. That's true. My year card. It's been a very interesting year, says Chris. You've got all the tools in your current job, just take a new perspective on it, says Nancy.
That's true, Nancy.
Here it seems to say that you don't have to turn your world upside down, that gentle changes, says Chris.
Yeah.
With don't do being hanged man, Mark thinks make a decision. Make a decision. Any decision is better than stasis of not knowing what to do. You can always make another decision if things don't work out.
Yeah, it's true.
So Robin thinks never suspend yourself from the decision, nor get it wrong. Get the wrong perspective on things. Let me read that again. What shouldn't you do? Neither suspend yourself from the decision nor get the wrong perspective on things. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. See, that's the thing. Do you know what I mean when I say the Netflix predicament or the Netflix scenario? So have you got Netflix or
Yeah,
like?
I've got Netflix.
Do you ever get that where you think where you're browsing Netflix and you spend so long trying to
Yes.
decide what the fuck to pick that you end up like completely brain frazzled, and by
Yeah.
the time you actually pick something, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered with this anymore. I'm just going to stick that on, and it ends up being absolutely shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Netflix scenario. It's when you get so overwhelmed with choice
Yeah.
that you scunner yourself.
Yeah.
So like don't be conscious about the decisions that you're making, I think. Yeah. Why did I say that? Because I don't think that was what Robin was saying. I think that was just me, like, running my mouth off. Analysis paralysis is the Netflix scenario. Yeah. So analysis paralysis is a Gemini's kryptonite, says Chris.
I like Chris because he seems to watch a lot of films, and I know all these films. That's Superman.
In and out again. The multitasking continues, says Regina. Are we talking magician and hanged man as the what not to do position? So the magician is what Ben should do, and the hanged man is what he shouldn't do. Regina. Oh, thank you, Chris. Okay. So before we move on, so the last two cards are basically what's coming up next, and then the kind of a outcome card. But before we move on, let's just take stock of what we've got so far. So if I move these to the side and look at these again, this was just giving us a bit of an overview of the situation of your kind of a thinking on the situation. And what we're seeing here is, we've got this kind of a stability and this real kind of a feeling of control over a situation, and that's been kind of a contrasted by the dynamic energy that we see, and the fire that we get with the King of Swords. That's kind of a fast movement and things changing up, and the dynamic energy that we see in the Five of Wands as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so we know that we've got ourselves a situation of do I stay or do I go? Do I act or do I not do anything? The next four that we then kind of a look at and contrast are the kind of right, this is the advice, this is what we're doing and what we're not doing. And as we've established, you kind of know what you're doing. It's telling you that you're on the right tracks. You don't need to kind of make any big changes from the way that you're looking at the situation right now.
Yeah.
So on some level, you know what the right thing for you to do is.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see what, because I don't think I really gave people much of a chance to. Oh no, oh Ben, I've lost my place. Oh wait, Regina was here. So this was the last thing that I put on the screen, wasn't it? So Orshi is heading to bed. So good night, Orshi. Thank you so much for being here. I know that it's late for you.
Thank you, Orshi.
Regina says, apply your skills, but first recognize them and trust them.
Yeah, that's so true, Regina. Yeah.
Don't be too self-sacrificing, self-effacing and modest, and accidentally miss opportunities because of it.
Yeah.
That's good advice. That's actually really, given that Regina's just popping in and out and catching wee snippets here and there, that is a really good kind of a, just tagline for the reading so far, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Oh, look who it is. It's our lovely
Oh,
Ange.
hi, Ange.
Right, okay. Let's shift forward a bit then. So let me just kind of put these back in some sort of try to do it so as we can see them all on the screen. If I start moving that, then we'll see off the side of the desk. That'll do all right. Still get that there. Okay, so the next card is kind of a what's coming up next. It's like the immediate future type card if you want to look at it that way. And we do see a change happening. So we do.
Mm.
So we do see that kind of it's like going off on a journey to find what's missing almost.
Yeah.
The Eight of Cups. I mean, you can see it just in the way that the cups are arranged. It's
Yeah.
like there's that's not quite perfect, you know. If
Yeah.
you were writing me out a birthday card or something and you put your kisses like that, I would be like, I would want to draw an extra one in there. I'd be like, that's not
Yeah.
complete, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just something that's like you almost want to go in and draw the extra cup. And
Yeah.
this is what that guy's doing. He's off to find that extra cup. He knows that
Yeah.
something's not quite right. He knows that there's something, there's something missing. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's about having the courage to make that decision, you
Yeah.
know.
That's so true, Chris. Yeah.
Now, if we look at the sky, and I'll hold it up so as we can kind of see what's happening, we do see the moon in front of the sun. Okay, so that
Yeah.
the moon represents our emotional selves, and the sun are kind of a more intellectual, conscious selves. And we see the moon kind of coming in front of the sun a bit. So I think there's a certain element here where it's like at some point you're going to trust your instincts and trust your emotions. So
Yeah.
you're going to move past this, just the algorithms of the past, the old ways, this is what I'm doing because this is the way I've always done it. I know works because it's tried and tested. There's going to come a point quite soon where you're maybe going to move away from that surety and start kind of a trusting, just trusting yourself a wee bit more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'd quite like to see. Whether that's, what this might be you turning around and saying to me, do you know what? Like, I'm happy where I am, and I know I'm happy where I am, and I trust myself that things are going to be okay if I stay where I am, So you can, you can take all of that and shove it because, that this is me and this is where I am, and I'm cool with that. Then that's absolutely great if that's what that is for you. But equally, if this is you kind of saying to yourself, do you know what? See all those self doubts, see those doubts
Mm.
that I'm putting on myself.
Yeah.
They can go fuck themselves because I know that I can do this.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm really good at it. If the people
Yeah.
around me believe in me, then
Yeah.
I'll,
Yeah.
I can believe in it too, kind
I
of a
think
thing.
you're absolutely right what you said the first time, Chris. I agree with that. That something's missing, and that actually, I have got people around me that are telling me I can do it, and it's just myself, and it's not warranted. It doesn't. What I'm thinking doesn't match with the external. So you're right. I think it is that thing that's missing, and that actually I can go out there and do it. I can do it. I
You
feel like
can,
Superman now and just want to fly off.
yeah. Well, let's see what the outcome is. The
Yes.
tower.
Oh no, God.
I hope not. It's Wee Man Taro. Hi,
Oh, I miss
Richard. How you
you.
doing? There's lots of loads happening. See, it's that Ange and Richard coming in at the same time. What have they two been up to?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Causing a big ruckus. Um, okay, Richard can't tag because he's on his phone. Um, so Chris, fulfilled but seeking something more. Feeling
Mm,
fulfilled but seeking something more. Um, oh, oh, Richard is on the train. So you're on the train. You're going to Glastonbury today. I thought you were all going tomorrow, Richard. Well, I hope that you're enjoying your journey. And yeah, hope you get there safe and sound. Let us all know that you get there, okay? Let's see. The Eight of Cups is willing to climb that figurative mountain in the background in order to get what he wants, says Mark. Eight of Cups, don't feel overwhelmed and walk away from it all.
Yeah. That's true.
My word choice. It reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When your basic needs are met and you're safe and secure, you have the leisure to seek for more spiritual and purposeful pursuits, says Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
Okay. Shall we see what's happening then? What the end game is? What the Oh, thank goodness, it's a good card. What do you think the best card could be for you to get for like a career reading for the final outcome? Just off the top of your head, what do you think the best would be?
Would it be an ace? Like the ace of oh, hang on. There is what? Victory.
Okay, fair enough. I was thinking more around the career theme. We've got the Ten of Pentacles here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's perfect, isn't it?
It is. It's a lovely card because it shows that. So the conversations that we've had throughout doing this reading, it's very much about the place that your head is at is maintaining the safety and security that you've got just now with the kind of being in a job that you know and that you know well.
Yeah.
But you're obviously wanting to kind of just build this kind of a more comfortable lifestyle around yourself. You're wanting to get yourself a place, and you've got these things that you want to do, and there's part of yourself that's saying, well, if I want to do that, then that something needs to change. Okay. And it can either be the amount that's coming in or the amount that's going out. And you were touching on that earlier. You were saying, well, I don't necessarily need to start bringing more cash in the door. I could just limit my spending and be a bit more careful. But this is like the culmination of all of that. This is like in your material world, things are headed in the right direction. You're heading towards the 10, which is it's the to me, it talks about being in a happy family situation, but it also talks about being in a secure situation. You've got the earth beneath your feet.
Yes.
I'm right. Hang on. I need to stop myself because I'm talking in riddles and I'm talking in parables here. What am I actually trying to say here? Wealth. We're looking at wealth. We're looking at financial stability here. Okay. And it's the absolute culmination and achievement of all of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant, Chris.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got a nice card like that coming up at the end there, and that we didn't get anything a wee bit more challenging for it.
Oh, that's that's great.
Have you got any thoughts on what this?
No, it's exactly what you said. It's that stability and security, isn't it? The pentacle, the earth kind of thing. And no, I mean, I couldn't be happy. That's such a good thing. And you know what? This reading's taught me that, to believe in myself, if I want to go out there and do it, you can do it if that's what you want, And I think that's in the nature of the. I'm so sorry that I'm a Gemini because it's caused a lot of bit of grief.
That's absolutely fine.
But yeah, it all makes so much sense to both sides of me, and what a lovely card to get at the end, and the soul card as well. That's so true with the egg and that. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, Chris. It really does make sense. It resonates so much with exactly how I feel.
Good stuff. Right, let's see what people in the chat are saying. Enjoying his journey, listening to us too.
Bless him.
Ange guessed the Ten of Pentacles. Cool.
Oh wow, well done, Ange.
Well done, Ange. You're starting from a secure place and you're headed to a secure place of more fulfillment.
Yeah.
Paralysis, analysis, fear, and timid confidence are the only things that are causing hesitation.
So true.
Roman says, figure out where your soul is at home, then you know what to do. Love that interpretation. None of none of those fears are in the cards here, though. Just in your lovely two-minded Gemini head. Good cards, says Chris. Mark says the Ten of Pence means a solid company or institution. So as long as the company is solid, you will be too.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm here to help you, Gemini brother, says Chris.
Oh, bless him. Oh, thank you, Chris. It's so lovely to meet you.
The nice thing about this 10, it's an... Oh, I thought we were getting a cliffhanger there. It's an end and a new beginning on the horizon. Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's interesting, like somebody was saying, we started out with that Queen of Pentacles. We kind of saw the Pentacles come up here again, and we got the 1, and then we ended up with the 10, and the 10 and the 1 are kind of it's like the cycle renewing, the 10 is like the 1 all over again, almost, and that's why we see like this kind of a legacy situation in the 10 of Pentacles. Have you seen the 10 of Pentacles from Tarot of the Abyss?
No, I haven't actually, Chris.
No, I'm going to be a wee bit cheeky, and I'm going to pull out another tarot deck. I hope my poor Morgan Greer doesn't mind, because I just want to show you this card, because it's such a cool depiction of the 10 of Pentacles. Will I be able to find it now?
Right deck.
Sorry, bear with. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's I've been looking for that deck. It's out of stock, isn't it? Everywhere.
Oh, is it out of stock again?
Yeah. It'll come back in stock, I'm sure. It's quite popular, isn't it?
Here we go. There's the 10 of Pentacles and the Tarot of the Abyss.
Oh, wow.
So do you see how it's like it's been passed down?
Yeah.
From one hand to another. And we see the family, we see the staircase going from one hand to the next. We see the home, we see the tree. It's such a beautiful depiction.
It really is.
Of the 10 of Pence. And so it is that kind of the legacy. I like to think of the 10s as a moving on and a change. It can be passing things down from one generation to the other. And I always have to look at it. Deviant Moon Tarot. Don't know if you've seen that, but the 10 of Pentacles is a father teaching his son how to play chess. So it's like passing skills down from one generation to the other. So there's an element of legacy that comes with this card, is what I'm saying. So this isn't just telling you, good news, Ben. You're going to have a wee bit of spare pocket money. This is kind of giving you a bit of assurance that the road that you're on, it's going to give you that security. Where it is part of your legacy. It's going to be, what gives you that kind of a sense of purpose, and it's going to give you something to pass down. I'm not sure if I'm speaking my point properly, but
no, I get exactly what you're saying, Chris. Makes absolute sense. It's amazing. It's really interesting.
I feel like the prospective red robe from the 8 of Cups gets hung up and adorned in the 10 of Pentacles, along with the others.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I see that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. Could the two figures in the last card be your twin selves reconciled?
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the flags crossing.
yeah,
Quite often when we see this symbolism, see how you see it in like when the two of wands cross, or when we see the kind of the flagstaffs cross here,
yeah,
it represents that bringing together of opposite elements. So
yeah,
it does,
that,
and
yeah,
it allows for like kind of that building up of the Kundalini energy, or that,
yeah,
when you combine like the big symbol that we like to use is, the masculine and the feminine, the male and the female,
yeah,
the lady parts and the man parts. When we bring
yeah,
them together, the reason
yeah,
that we use it is because it's it's biological and how much does
mm,
biology matter, but it is we do create life by bringing, the male and the female together,
mm,
and that's why
yeah,
we like to use it as humans. We like to use it as a symbol for so much.
yeah,
I try and move away from kind of hanging on that too much, but I mean, it is still a symbol. You're bringing
mm,
together those opposite elements and creating something new that wasn't
yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah.
Just from the one alone.
And I think
Um,
sometimes in a Gemini, you feel like you're in conflict with yourself. So, but when you can bring those two in harmony, it's
yeah,
magic.
yeah. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Is it psh? Yeah, it is like it's a psh. Where where did that come from, Tanj?
I do love Tangy.
The Ace of Pentacles is the egg, the Ten of Pentacles is the egg hatched, the complete journey,
Yes,
or it's
yeah.
sunny side up, feeding the family for breakfast, says Chris.
I like his analogies.
Um, Apparently, I was talking amongst myself. All right, myself and not my. I think you've misspelt it again there, Tanja. For
Oh,
those that may not know, is follicle stimulating hormone. Uh, is a hormone associated with reproduction and development of eggs in women and sperm in men. Thanks for stroking my geek. Um, the Arch and the Ten of Pence echoes the Arch and the Ace of Pence too, passing through that gate. Yeah, good point. See the
yeah,
arch here, and then we see it, the
yes.
stone archway.
Oh, yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah.
I'm a nursing science nerd. Can't help it. What that was that what the joke meant? Andrew's asking Tanja. God, we've got Ange and we've got Tanja. I'm getting so confused. Um, the crossed flags and the two X's uh, masked by the coins themselves represents me of the rune Gibo and the geomantic glyph conjunctio, both X's. They mean exchange and connection. Perfect for a Gemini.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, do you know what? There's a part of me, young Mister Christopher, that thinks that you're just putting big, complicated words in there because I'm starting to get tired and you're trying to confuse me. It came from only having a few hours sleep, says Tanja. Nice, Robin, a complete journey. The other
Yeah.
side of the arches or gate.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's us reached the bottom of the comments, and that is us reached the end of the reading, folks.
Well, thank you so much. It's been absolutely amazing, and that was really good reading, and the spread, really good spread, and thanks to everybody as well in the chat. I love all your interpretations, and it's really helped me, that has, because it's like seeing your thoughts on the table, isn't it? And especially the egg card as well. That's so interesting, and having the the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles are kind of like the beginning and the end. That's just, you know, it's like full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
It was absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me. I always really appreciate it when people are brave enough to come on and get their cards read on, you know, on live YouTube, because it can be quite daunting, you know. But yeah, it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
Let me just catch some of the last comments here. So Ange didn't notice the arches in both cards. I came in late, but as always, I enjoy my time spent with you all. Have a restful evening, says Ange.
Oh,
yeah, I think everybody's just saying bye. So we'll leave it there, guys. Ben, if you stay on, we can have a chat afterwards. But thank you again so much for coming on and doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it. I can probably bring my face back now, so I'm not just a tiny wee square up in the corner. But thank you so much to everyone else, all our amazing readers at the round table. I could never do this without y'all. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. And yeah, until next time, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.